Quincy crew's turn to pick.
Longer than he's been in a long time. In terms of his skirmish power and his spells damage-wise and all that.
Radiant
I mean, there's even
team's
like Euro meta where you play it mid, right?
The problem with... Oh, you're talking about the mid silencer.
No, I mean, I'm just saying there is a mid meta, but...
Okay, but yeah, once it gets down to like BKBs, Manta Styles, tier 4 items with the dispel mechanics, the global is just not an
10
LP.
seconds remaining.
Looking at this, I mean, you know Quinn better.
5
Do you
seconds
think
remaining.
in this situation, considering he's playing into Pugna, into Treant, this could potentially be a Spirit Vessel game for him? Or it kind of says, you know, scaling is not gonna be a thing. I need to get this, you know, Maelstrom
I think he's
instead.
probably just going the Maelstrom build.
Okay.
I think Vessel is... It's an expensive item on cores that aren't Invoker, in a way. Because Invoker uses it really well and it helps his kit, right? And it enables his spells as well.
I ask because
It's a payback.
Snapfire doesn't build into it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Bane also, like, there is no synergy. I'm down to think outside of the box, but Snapfire doesn't build that item. It's no good.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vessel also helps if you don't... I mean, Vessel's a weird item because it helps if you don't have enough damage in the sense that it can help you burst through the heal. At the same time, you need a lot of damage for Vessel to be effective because you just throw a Vessel on someone, it doesn't do anything. But right now, I think this draft is a lot easier execution and a lot easier to start small engagements or kills on the lanes or whatever than the last one, right? Snap, Bane. Snap is a very conducive hero to helping his
Team's turn
cores
to ban.
start things or follow up. It's a lot better than a Weaver, for example.
Yeah.
He can actually cookie you and he has follow up, slow, stun. He has high damage nukes. And Ember and Mars are two heroes with stuns that can jump people. So right off the bat, their skirmish and fighting power is a lot easier to execute. It's a lot easier for them to jump people, threaten people on the
seconds
map. I think
remaining.
this is the type of style QC wants to play majority of the time. They don't want to
5
play this
seconds
more
remaining.
passive Doom's farming mid and Legion's farming off lane and what happens at 30 minutes. Like, no, take the fight to them, right? So I think they're a lot better set up here, and now it's just a question of what hero do they want to put on Yawar.
They need some kind of tower damage coming out from Yawar because Ember Spirit, Mars, Snapfire, they can't really go for towers, and Bane as well. So they need something, especially since they're playing into Treant Protector once again. So you need something that can group up, take the tower, and get the hell out. Because chip damage is not gonna do it.
Carry Jakiro,
Maybe.
is that what I'm hearing?
We're supposed to be making the ridiculous
Nah,
suggestions.
we-
You're supposed to be making the legitimate suggestions. What happened to the pick one Drow Ranger Yawar call of game one, huh? Where's that Avery at?
I
Radiant
mean,
team's
he
turn
can
to
try
ban.
to go for it. It's definitely
no,
this
he
is
gets
not a good draw ranger.
Yeah.
You know, playing into Sven and Spirit Breaker and Pugna just feels like a big no-no.
I mean, I think at this point, if you're Yawar, you're probably thinking, what do I want to play versus Sven in a way? Because I don't think most of their other lineup is that intimidating for you, since your other four heroes
10
have
seconds
a
remaining.
crap ton of disable, lockdown, spell damage.
I don't think it's
Team fight.
gonna
5
be
seconds remaining.
an easy choice for Quincy to pick. You have Spirit Breaker, you have BKB piercing ability coming out from him. If you rely on something like a
Radiant team
Life Stealer, then that means Pugna will ruin you. Treant Protector also BKB piercing ability. So it's not gonna be an easy choice for Quincy to pick the hero.
If you want to go in on team fight, maybe a Faceless Void plus the Snapfire Kisses. Sure, there's a Pugna on the outside that may be able to keep people alive.
seconds.
Yeah,
It's
Faceless
remaining.
Void is an okay option. I mean, traditional Sven counters I think of are the Morphling or Deuce,
5
which are both
seconds
banned,
remaining.
or something like a Razor, which is also banned. So there's some
Dire
decent
team's
options
turn to
taken out. There's the Void. The Beast and Night Stalker bans were also pretty conducive for that Void or Morph type pick there. So it's some heroes similar to that. He plays a lot of Gyro, but no one's really playing this hero at the moment. Ursa is also
10
still an
seconds
option.
remaining.
I think this hero still has some potential. They don't really have any buffs to help it though.
5 seconds
People don't really like
remaining.
playing just Ursa on its own. But
Templar
Yes,
Safe lane Tia.
And that's tower damage that they needed.
yeah, it's the physical burst hero and a Sven counter in theory, right? It's pretty hard for him to jump you with refraction.
Yeah, but Life Drain should be able to burn through
10
refraction
seconds
instances
remaining.
pretty quickly, so you think they might consider sending this Pugna mid
5
just so it
seconds
can
remaining.
become more of a core to deal with TA?
It's a possibility. I'm not sure Gunnar wants to just play Pugna mid. I'm pretty sure Z-Freak's just gonna play this Pugna. Because I think they have confidence in the support Pugna just being a utility hero, providing his spells, and we're not going to try and devote too much net worth to him, especially if the matchup isn't some 100-0 matchup, because TA isn't going mid, right? Yeah. And the Ember matchup, that's a toss-up. Like, is Gunnar going to go mid and beat Quinn with a Pugna or something on a Super Snowball core? Probably not. So he might even just play the Breaker mid. Screw the matchup. I'm just going to... I mean, Breaker's not even bad receiver in the game because you get this Bulldoze, right? You don't care about his chains.
Yeah, I feel like this could potentially be a good Necro game because it's also a flex pick, whether they want to play it on the mid lane. I'm not going to say dumpsters, Ember Spirit, but it's a tough matchup for Ember. Like, Necro doesn't care too much about Ember on the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Venos and stuff too. You really want to get cancer? Veno Vipers.
Choose your hero.
So who's going where?
I mean, they're just going to play the Sand King Pugna dual lane, which I think is decent. Like, I think Sand King should be able to get a decent amount out of this lane. There's a possibility that Yawar and Ponlo play the first 2 waves very well with meld hits into the Bane right clicks, and the Sand King can get really destroyed early. But in general, it's a lot of team fight. Again, Zoomers has a lot of AoE that it's pretty hard to run into these heroes. And Sven, he can become the boss of this game. So it's really how much this TA can get done and accelerate. And that's a big question mark. Because I always worry about this hero in the safe lane in terms of, I've seen a lot of safe lane TAs just go pretty bad.
And then you can't recover. I think there's a lot on shoulders of Quinn to be able to deliver in this game. Last game he played Doom, which is not the hero that goes around and does stuff, but this time around he's playing Ember Spirit, so that means that he needs to be a bit more active, kind of enable also the Templar Assassin, and their timing, I would say 15 to 25 minute mark is pretty strong, where they're gonna try to take one fight, take the Roche for TA, and get that Deso online, so you gotta be careful about that. But yeah, they have a bit more damage, tower damage coming out from TA this time around, but still a bit worried because for Zoomers is pretty strong.
You got a prediction, Avery, on this series? Don't just give me the easy Quincy answer again. I see your mouth here.
I mean, Purge destroyed my confidence.
He did, actually.
I have to defend
completely
myself.
Devastated you.
I mean, I think QC's better set up this game than last game, but I'm not sure it's super one-sided draft-wise. I think it genuinely comes down to the lane execution, and again, this Sven versus team matchup, who accelerates out of the lane fast can dominate the game. Because I don't think this mid matchup is going to skew the game so hard one way or the other. Like, even if Quinn wins it.
That's what I like to hear for a 3-game series. I want you to make this as business-like as possible and put your hands together for Moxie and Purge for game number 3.
Game number 3, and it seems like there are some very specific timings that are going to have to occur in this game for it to go the way of Quincy Crew.
Yes, the TA Sven matchup is everything. That's what SVG said, and if that doesn't happen, then he's again wrong.
Don't bully the new guy. That's very cruel. Already seeing some action down here in this bottom lane. Kazoo with a real big shield bash. It sounded real crunchy, but
the shield bash ravage.
In the end, not going to be enough. Not at level 1. Not with all 5 heroes running at you.
They're going to spawn Milan as well. Round 2.
All right, let's see if they can get a little bit more off of this. It feels like they have all the damage necessary, and that's a good, quick 2-0 start here for the Zoomers.
Z-Free got both kills.
He's going to be so
What's he got coming? What's he got coming? A magic one? Maureen. Nah, it's fine.
The battle
How does he not have more gold than this? I'm confused. I was like, boots, it's coming. I mean, 350 gold.
That's what I was thinking,
Magic wand is a lot, but
he's already so fast too as a Pugna.
Yeah.
Plus the boots would be like
too fast. What's more important, boots or a magic wand? The end stick is genuinely very important, so it makes sense. We'll see if he gets a D ward here. Actually, he's gonna go push the high ground. Let's see if the enemy team spots this. This could be an advantage. They do see him with the ward, so they know what he's gonna do when no one's close. So it's fine. We'll see if he gets the D ward though.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. Now I have to know.
Stand next to these trees. The tower's attack one time, and he's gonna be like dead, and he's gonna D ward. And what's gonna happen with that? A very small advantage in the mid lane.
But let's go.
Nope, he blocked the small camp. I hyped you up for nothing.
Why did you do that to me, dude? I'm so disappointed now.
Yep, that's tough.
All right.
Kind of makes sense. So Ember farm quite fast in the mid lane. It's got good AoE. And the other thing is that he's got AoE to push the wave. I guess Spirit Breaker does have AoE with charge, but push the wave camp. So small advantage here.
And again, we have sort of that interesting positioning with Gunnar in the two role, but a little bit more utility. Whereas I think Moo will probably be the one who kind of, you know, putting more of the pressure on the map. Or in conjunction, rather.
Hard for Moo to approach the creep wave here against -5 armor Meld Strike. Yor just walks forward, tosses the Meld Strike, and then Moo just has to walk away. This thing stays for a very long time.
Does seem like
seconds? Like what? That's so long. Great burrow strike on Palno though with creep wave. That's gonna pressure pretty well. This should scale up maybe. 12 seconds seems a little elaborate, but maybe it's a little later. But like seconds -4 is insane. Just Meld Strikes. It's good skill.
it's a very good skill. Especially when you consider, you know, Ponlo's able to trade effectively on top of that because he has the brain sap. He can trade a little bit back and forth with Mr. Z-Freak, who has a little bit more nuking damage here right now. So another couple seconds before the brain sap's back up. He's gonna be a little bit careful. He's look at long range, just hit coming in. Goes back to UR, says, "You are bullying me, but watch out for the courier." He's running after him, my goodness.
Yeah, he had to run so far away just to pop the salve there. Didn't want to get interrupted. Cool. 2 tower hits on Quinn there. Tiber charge to the creep. Nicely done there, but bottle is up. So I assume Quinn's going to be fine. Bottle coming for Gunnar as well. Which makes sense, right? Because charge is pretty good at securing last hits right now. So you just charge for creep, get a Rassin combo. John Pondo here.
Just the brain sap, though, again, like it says, now able to negate some of that damage.
He's been pretty well bullied. Like Z-Freak's got 25 movement speed advantage. He's got an attack range advantage. He does less damage with right click, but as long as he stays a bit far out of. And so this literally made out of bones has pretty decent armor too. So.
This is some real strong bones, you know. Got all of this calcium.
I guess so.
Are those cracks in Dyer's top tower?
Last hits on Quinn though. With his best hero. Top lane neighbor.
Fighting back and forth here. Pablo sitting very low, but they're not able to get the final hit off a Z-Freak now. Forced away.
He's fine. Got the stick, got the fairy fire. Gonna bring out more regen though. They did a good job pressuring.
Imagine if he had boot, he was just able to chase Pablo though.
I mean, Yor would be able to turn from this as well. It wouldn't be the most direct, but it could help. Wand is also, the fast tick that he got also is helping him stabilize the lane.
Courier keeps trying to walk over here and has to keep turning away because they're just playing right behind that tower. Nice pin over to the tree, or try cookie hop. Oh, here from Milan. And they'll get the kill on Husky.
Feel the iron.
This duel lane's so strong. It's just so much damage. And some ways I like it when you skip the little shredder. The little shredder is very good already, but it's not even.
Not indeed, as they'll turn back around. On low, needing to get away there very quickly. And they've got a lot of Meld Strike damage over here on Z-Freak, so he's got to run. You are hitting pretty hard.
Doing great. Fast boots there. It's going to pay off. And that is Z-Freak's. That's thinking pretty regen as well. Palmo re-engages with another salve. So a little bit of a rough one for Zoomers now, because now Palmo just gets to zone them. They haven't quite gotten the kill yet. Palmo's been able to survive these engagements, reading the fight perfectly, and as a result, your damage, he gets to reset, and now they just get to zone. Because Sand King's laning stage is kind of mediocre. Always been like that.
I mean, it's one of those things, too, where you want to be using up all your resources right at the support. You want to be making these clicks, these little, you know, plays. That way you can make as much space as possible for your core there. Throwing out the Nature's Grasp. Milan just clicking away casually here. Another scatter blast and
You
that
sex
tree on
me.
down.
The power of boots. It's got to train them first carry. Won't have to teleport it back.
And are already charging back here to this middle lane. It's back into play. Bottom lane. Still kind of pushing pushing back and forth on Costabile. Scatterblast does so much here. Will stun. Need a little bit more damage to finish off Costabile, and they don't quite have it. So he'll be able to salve up, heal up behind the tower, and get back to hitting creeps.
Thanks.
Okay.
Cutting waves here in the top area.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. You don't want to lane directly to TA. It's too much. So it's just better to pull away from him. It's basically the case if the enemy is better harassing you than vice versa. You just want to farm the creep wave somewhere else if you can. And he does the same thing, but not getting harassment on you.
Radiant's bottom
it just
tower is
worked
under
out better.
attack.
With that said,
Dire's
so a
top
lot of
tower
pressure
is
has
under
happened towards half HP here. No armor points for tree up. 2 points in leech seed is excellent as well. And you just want to leech seed the creep wave because this is the easiest way to heal the Sven back up.
Still not too far behind though in terms of net worth. Poor Costabile, and he does have a built-in mechanic, right? For being able to farm. I'm sure we're going to see some stats coming into play for him. It's Ponlo. It's a nightmare. Big nether blast coming out. We'll go for the brain sap play. Just trying to buy a little bit more time to mix, and that's a dead Bane.
Man, Z-Freak almost got his kill there. So close, but Gunnar stole it.
He's like, don't you do it. Don't you do it. I need this.
Gunnar steals the ward away from Quinn. That's how you beat him, dude. You make them buy a sentry ward, and then you kill Milan's actually.
Killing spree.
Well, speaking of Milan, he is on a kill spree in this bottom lane. Still on Costabile.
That's why a lot of players, it's pretty common now for them to pick off lane their fort position right away. Just because you know, like, oh, we're gonna have this monster good lane, and no matter what our opponents pick, like, it's solidified. It has everything. They like pick the entire game. It's just excellent. Mid game is great. You just like arena spear and launch kisses, and somebody dies. See my voice. It's the perfect combo. So it's the easiest opener when you second pick it.
Beating on Dire's top tower.
And it's strength here. Sven has been punished.
When getting started here, it doesn't seem to be too concerned about it. Let's get back stuff though. Bottom lane hunting for Husky. Well, he's there with that grass. But team so for that key, come off his tower.
It's very important that he moved over here. He needs the levels. Now we'll put him on it.
The stacks now being taken by you all.
Radiant's bottom tower.
These are enemy decks.
I knew what they were gonna have, but they always have them. So Quinn, big in here, poking away at Z-Freak. Hold them into place. Wait for the moment. I was thinking about going for the charge. It's gonna back off though. He's still alive.
He's gonna die for sure.
Oh, Gunnar, this is right back into the rim, and then he's gonna see if maybe the creeps will give him a hand, but Quinn will still get the kill.
He must have forgotten. Like I'm putting them because once this charge.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Z-Freak.
Dude, they're doing such a good job for map out watching cores do this. They take their network, they advantage it towards their opponents. It's so cool. It's like if you watch that hit clear and stack, and Z-Freak's like, oh, I'm gonna go mess with him, try to make sure he doesn't get all these. And it's like, wait, is here also, and as a result, they clean the whole thing up, and they get a couple kills too.
There's an ancient stack that they can go back for as well if they want.
That one's a bit harder. It's only 2 stacks, so it's not like as much benefit, but either way, great.
Something to keep in mind. Okay, channeling up for the gap because it takes a lot of it when it's 8 and Mars.
Good attempt. Almost surprise. And Gunnar uses the ultimate again, but he can still it's worthwhile.
Bounty!
It's a very action-packed game.
Get it?
No matter where you're looking, something happening.
See Quinn interrupts us.
No.
He did try. Messed up his cycle. Just getting a little practice and he won't make a mistake again for the rest of the game. But they're gonna go for defend now.
They scatter blast low. Don't remember that living over buying a bit more time, but they'll be able to throw those searing chains and will let himself get another kill.
Power observer would say spot this jungling. It's arguably like the most injured camp, but trying to be efficient. So he ends up, and that's Sven's second death now. So if we think back to what SPG said, he said this game is a bit about the balance between the TA and the Sven. There's no doubt in my mind, and nor probably yours, that TA's had a much better game. 1-0-1. He's stolen stack. He's got a lot more towards defense. Died multiple opponents, and Tower's dead despite having it. Because they didn't blow that fast. This is about the best he can do is clear some stacks. It's gonna happen, certainly.
It's scary though, right, for the Zoomers because they've taken down the access point in the bottom lane with that tier 1. They got deep ward over like at some of the most prominent camps over in the jungle, so they know exactly where the Sven's going to be if he's not showing on the map. He's going to be in the triangle, and they can just, I mean, they could place, right? But they've also just restricted him so hard now and what he's able to actually get done.
The problem is they can't quite fight unless they do something like a nightmare into a grip, or they spear him cookies. And spearing him is going to be hard without the dagger, so that's why Kezu's going straight for this. Which is kind of interesting because it's very different than how almost every other Mars is playing with like the armor build. Considering the fact that this makes sense for his team because both his carry and his mid are very farm-heavy players. So if he goes for like, armlet first, it delays this like their ability to fight. So instead, he goes this blink dagger and they use it in a smart way to engagement.
This is going to be a ski tank getting here. Stabby like, we'll run away. Quinn joining in on.
Dire Snow fortified their structures.
Just give a couple clicks over here. From
Radiant's middle tower
another
is under
kill
attack.
for Ember Spirit.
They're beating on Dire's top tower.
I just think it's really interesting the way that Quincy crew is forcing them
Radiant have fortified their
to play
structures.
on the side of Zoomers. The fact that they have
Dire's top
restricted
tower is
so
under
much of
attack.
this jungle that they are able to, yeah, like you said, they're not ready to fight yet. They're not going to have the damage that's necessary to take down Sven, but they can restrict how much he's getting out of the map. And I think
Where did
that's
Radiant's
very
middle tower
interesting
go?
to see. You get a couple Blink Daggers picked up now. We've got Blink Dagger completed now for Kazu, and we do have Moo picking up his own. So some mobility items coming out for each side, but we'll see how they decide they want to move forward with it.
It must be rough for them not having darks though in last game because it did really make Gunners ganks a lot more effective. And number two is that the team fight tanking is good, but not nearly as incredible as what Darkseer can offer at all stages of the game. It's a lot of damage, but once the enemy team gets like BKBs or they buy a pipe or something, it doesn't feel on sinking. Like your likelihood of being effective in a fight is just so much less. And here comes a gang. And
Into the wall. Another kill on the sky. Taking trying to split a little bit opening, trying to see if he can figure who is gonna go around and be able to teleport on out.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
Charge coming by. Literally no chance to kill. I'm messing up.
The BKB is going to be coming out for the gun soon. I think that's going to the amount of damage that can come out of TA. Very scary.
Yeah.
The voice they gave, obviously, the war cry, but Kazu found himself too. He wants this to stop, but you gotta find some more people involved. Oh, this is not and they're looking to get a little bit more. It's gonna go quiet.
Absolutely nothing that Zoomer's done in that fight, basically. Like, TA jumps on Sand King. Sand King's like, I'll try to Burrow Strike, but she was BKB. Like, he basically gets Blink, and then you're like, Sand King, this is gonna be good. But it's like, Burrow Strike, it's like, it's done. And unless you have the anticipation.
Oh, God, Milan. And then picking up over on Gunner. Got the little trap running away, but guess who's putting his foot in? He's putting his support to BKB and teleport out.
Brand new shots on the left.
Little, you know, wow.
Middle tower is falling.
So hard to fight into them. TA just jumping, Phil Sand King to his. Sand King just feels bad, man. Look, if Sand King doesn't have some like hero ice blast or something, he really doesn't feel that great. But I think they want some like G8 that has like and Sand King can fit some of those boxes, but his lane's kind of mediocre, and you don't let kill after kill in the mid. It's gonna feel worse than a lot of options like Mars.
Yeah.
So it's just moves it excellent player. It's to make the hero feel here.
The items coming in have the complete. But BKB is done now for Lula, so he's going to be able to survive a bit longer in these fights. It'll be difficult. It should give him more of a fighting chance.
And we're so ready to 400 HP.